It's Onslaught Tuesday, another day of waiver wire action. We're going deep at the running back position. We're going to help you with the shallow leagues. We're going to help you with the deep leagues by going deep at the running back position. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at the waiver wire every single day, multiple different angles. We're doing deep dives on all the trending prospects. A lot of these players will get their own video throughout the week. On top of that, we're going to help you set your lineups by going game by game, matchup by matchup, identifying the game script, doing player rankings, which is new this year. And then on top of that, we're doing battle videos. We're busy here. We're helping you out. I'm never going to leave you. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's also watching. Do not disappoint the man. To be the man, you got to be the man. And the man right now is Trey Benson. He is the hot name off the waiver wire right now. He's getting a lot of work. 85% snap share after Connor went out. The thing about this, Emari Demercado is going to get some work as well. We saw that last year. But really, when you're thinking about the running back landscape and you're looking at upside running backs, you're looking at running backs getting to work, there's going to be very few moments where you get a decorated prospect that we've been waiting for that gets anointed. There will be a few more this season. There will be, but you do not know when. You do not know the hour. But Trey Benson is one of those. Like, we'll get random running backs like Trey Sermon last year for the Colts who got anointed the job. But those are running backs that are like, this is a running back we've been waiting for. We waited for last year. Last year, the waiver wire sucked. And we had to talk about him every single week as one of the top gets. We had to talk about him as a stash, hold tight because the 4.3 speed, rookie, ambiguous, drafted in third round. The thing about Trey Benson here, he showed he could play. He showed he could play. He was cheaper. He should have been drafted. He should have already been picked up. He should have already been rostered. If you've been following the channel, you would have known that. Ran 24 routes on Sunday. We're getting work in the passing game. You're going to have to blow a lot of fab. That is why we stash a running back or two. And that's why we stash the top backs that we like. That is why. Trey Benson, hopefully you already got him. You don't even need this video for him. You already got him. But if he's there, go get him. Go get him. There'll be a few more running backs like this throughout the season. I'm expecting more than last year, especially considering last year we did not get many injuries. But this is one of the few instances where you're going to blow that fab. Woody Marks. The Angels from Angels in the Outfield is flapping. He is flapping. He's drank Jesse Spano levels of caffeine, and he's flapping it up. That being said, what I'm seeing here is the workload's increasing. 19 routes week 3. I like to look at the routes when it comes to workload. Snaps, touches, targets. The routes are up. Snaps, 48% snap share. You got Nick Chubb in front of him, which we love Nick Chubb. This is a Nick Chubb channel. He's also on that last leg of his career. No pun intended due to the injuries. But he's also on the last leg of his career. We got a lot of season left in front of us. We're getting that work. He's got a good profile from college, catching the ball out of the backfield. Played well for 2 different collegiate programs, especially at USC. He's a guy that you want to pick up and stash. Just like Trey Benson, he will also get his own video this week. Hit that subscribe button if you're looking forward to that. I will deep dive all his numbers. Blake Corum. Flapping it too. Flapping it too. Not as much caffeine, but some caffeine. Maybe not monsters, but maybe some iced coffees mixed in with some Blake Corum right now. He's tethered to Kyren Williams. He is the handcuff. If I got Kyren Williams and I don't have anything funky with my bench or my roster with injuries and bye weeks, yeah, I want him stashed. I want him as the handcuff. You're just seeing him explode right now. We called this out last year. And I was a year early on Kyren Williams. I'm a year early on Blake Corum. But the thing is, that's part of this game where you're just trying to go deep and deeper and deeper than everybody else. And I recognize that, but at the same time, you have to look deeper. You have to, because when this starts to creep up, you got to get in early. And if you can't afford a Trey Benson right now, and Woody Marks is already rostered, Blake Corum's looking at you in the face, you're looking at this and you're like, why do I want him? If Kyren Williams goes down, he's next man up. And if Kyren Williams goes down, he's going to play well, especially in the right matchups. And he's going to be a good running back for fantasy. And if Kyren Williams gets hurt, it's going to be the Blake Corum show. You're also going to see Hunter mixed in there. That's the reason why. And we're stashing running backs. He's on waivers in a lot of leagues. He's a guy you need to look at. He's a stash play, but he's a premium stash play. Ollie Gordon is also a premium stash play. If HN goes down, kind of very similar here to Blake Corum. Very similar. If he goes down, you're seeing the anointment of Ollie Gordon. You saw this in preseason. You saw this in training camp. Dude won the Doak Walker. He was one of the top running backs in college football. Caught a DUI, then had a slower season the next year. Falls in the draft. Very talented running back class this year. Deepest, most talented running back class. You guys look at Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritt. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritts this year. We're going to see a lot of young running backs just emerge here this year. And it's coming to light. Ollie Gordon got his touchdown. 9 carries, 38 yards. You're like, I don't know if I want to chase that. You got to understand the asset here. You got to, put these players in the asset classes. You're not going to use cash at the store and expect it to be Bitcoin. You're not going to use Bitcoin to buy a candy bar. Think about it this way. He is a stash play on the back end of your roster. If things get really bad, and you need a running back, he is a guy that you could throw in and close your eyes and maybe get 9, 10, 11 points if he crosses the goal line. This Dolphins team is very malleable, very ambiguous. It could change to where they're getting more opportunities to score, and he might get some red zone looks. And that's going to happen. They're going to use him around the goal line. He's a power back, and he's got a lot of kinetic energy in him. Bhayshul Tuten is full of kinetic energy. 6 routes per game in the last 2 weeks. Got another touchdown. We're getting work. Snap share reduced. But the thing is, we don't need a lot right now. We just need to keep getting touches, and we only need 1 or 2 touches to hit. Same asset class as an Ollie Gordon. Same asset class as a Woody Marks, Blake Corum. But you guys want me to rank them? But I really think they should really go into tiers, and they're all in similar tiers here where if Travis Etienne goes down, this guy's going to be a monster. If Nick Chubb goes down, Woody Marks is going to be getting a lot of opportunities, and the value is just going to fly off the shelves. I think Bhayshul Tuten has the opportunity to be a monster in fantasy, though. A bigger monster than compared to those other running backs. I think Ollie Gordon has a chance, but he might be strapped up with how crazy this Dolphins offense is. But you could definitely see some similarities, not 1-for-1, but with craziness, neuroticness in the offenses with the Jaguars. But I think he has the chance to be an absolute monster if something happens to Travis Etienne. But he should be rostered. But again, I'm helping you out for the shallow leagues, deeper leagues. He should already be rostered. That is your anointment that you should pick him up. Rico Dowdle. I believe he's going to have some standalone moments. If Chuba goes down, you're going to want Dowdle. I don't want backups in this offense, though. It's the Carolina Panthers. I think one thing about the Carolina Panthers I said in the offseason that I did think was going to be correct, but I guess it was correct. So I was flip-flopping on being right and wrong. And it happened in week 3 is this team is going to be getting the Randy Orton effect, where they're going to be legend killers. And they're just going to beat some teams they shouldn't beat because they are built funky. And now that's processing, that is coming to light. Coker's going to be back. And with that being stated, there's going to be some random moments where Rico Dowdle hits. It just is. He's running okay amount of routes. That's Chuba's game. He's more of a handcuff to Chuba right now. He's not getting enough snaps and opportunities. He did score. He's in all the fantasy articles. He's not a chaser for me. I don't see the upside really being there. His upside is just being the handcuff to Chuba. Taj Brooks. Chase Brown has been atrocious. The offense has been atrocious. We saw him get a little bit of work. Not so much. Weird game script. You got Denver on the road. Then you got Detroit. Then you got the Packers. Just think about that. That Denver defense isn't living up to last year's hype, but it's still the Denver defense. You saw what Derrick Henry did yesterday. You saw the Packers D. And then the Pittsburgh did a little bit better against the run last week. So you're looking at this. We might see Taj Brooks sooner than later. So if you're in a deeper league, 14-teamer, you're looking for something different, you're in a 12-teamer, you say it's competitive. That being said, Taj Brooks is a guy to look at here if something happens to Chase Brown. Upside-wise, he's a steady running back. He's good between the tackles, good vision. Record setter over at Texas Tech. And if he was in any other draft class, he might have been drafted a few rounds higher. He's just a steady, solid workhorse running back. And honestly, like Chase Brown was in this role when he first started out. Late round running back, good upside play, good value for the Bengals here. They may have to explore him sooner than later, or they may think about it due to attrition or due to how this offense is flowing. You got to pay attention to him. DJ Giddens. If I have Jonathan Taylor, I got DJ Giddens. And not because I think Jonathan Taylor's going to fall off. It's just when you see a running back getting a lot of work, a lot of opportunities, a lot of touch after touch after touch, those are more hits. That's more work. That's more opportunity. That's just what it is. It's just life. It's just football. It's life as a running back. DJ Giddens, decorated prospect out of Kansas State. He needs a unique video because I don't think a lot of people understand. If you don't watch college football, pay attention to college football. This is a running back prospect, though, that was very good. Should have been drafted higher. If he was in the 2024 running back class, might have been the first running back drafted. Might have been. He would have been up there with those top running backs. Corum, Benson, Brooks, Bucky if you want to throw him in there, but he wasn't really up there with the hype. DJ Giddens in the hype train during, before, after draft, around the combine time, would have been up there. He fell in this year's draft because it was so deep and talented. If something happens to Jonathan Taylor, you're going to want Giddens. I look at him as a stash play that I want on a lot of teams. Chris Rodriguez is a good grinder back that can facilitate the rock around the line of scrimmage and get you a little bit more than expected. Great around the goal line. He's a good throw-in. I just don't see him really capitalizing upside consistently. Also, touches, it looks like it might be a mess here with the Commanders. Merritt, Rodriguez, and now you're looking at McNichols. I think Rodriguez is a good throw-in back if you want to throw him in, just see if he scores that touchdown. He will have some touchdowns this year in this situation. Like, he will score some touchdowns, so he will have some games where it's going to help you in fantasy. You're not going to know which ones. It's really dependent on where they're at around the goal line and all that stuff. And then Jeremy McNichols, he's been getting snaps ahead of him. So obviously you're looking at that, but they're playing different roles. He's very explosive. He's a veteran in the game. I like him in deeper formats. I like him if I'm hurting, but I'd rather just stash higher upside plays that could win my league. He's definitely not going to be a league winner for you. He's more of like a lineup money baller that you throw in and just pray to the fantasy gods. If you ask whether or not to start him, it's really just asking the fantasy gods if it's going to help you, because it's going to be random in this offense because the touches, it's just going to be spread out. You saw 4 rushing attempts. We had that long run. It's not going to be steady. We ran 6 routes in week 3, 12 in week 2. We're going to get volume in the passing game. Also, that game script with the Raiders was kind of weird. You kind of want to test this out more with the Falcons and Chargers. Kendre Miller is an understated, underrated backup running back right now. If Kamara goes down, everybody's going to want Kendre Miller. If Kamara goes down, he's going to get the Trey Benson buzz. And going into the draft season, going into the start of the year, not many people were talking about him as a handcuffed running back, but this is a guy that pushed out a lot of veteran running backs, a lot of talent. They had Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire there. They drafted 2 running backs. He remains. He has been in the doghouse for multiple years due to his injuries with this team. He remains. That is a testament to what this coaching staff sees. Like, they didn't like him. They hated him because he was always hurt and banged up. But they got to keep him. They got to keep him out there. That's something to look at. He's also big. He's explosive. Go back to his tape at TCU because we don't have much at the NFL right now. 7 rushing attempts, 5 and 5. That's a lot considering you got Alvin Kamara and these weird-ass Spencer Rattler game scripts. This is a stash play. Kareem Hunt. If you're looking for a familiar face that's getting touches, that's getting that 40% snap rate, that could cross the goal line, that could get you some points, that could run a little better than expected, and you're just praying that those touches hit, that's what you're looking at Kareem Hunt. I don't look at him as a stash. He's not going to be a league winner unless it's at the end of the season, last couple games, he crosses the goal line then. Like, he does not have that upside in his game anymore. He may string together 3 to 4 weeks this year where he's hitting at good production. But overall, he's not a guy that I'm really looking for to help me win my league. Maybe to get by if I'm hurting that bad, to get those touches and those opportunities. Emari Demercado, have not forgotten about him. This is a good deep league pickup. This is a good inverse pickup. If you're looking at Trey Benson, you don't want to pay for that, but you're also looking at the shakeups here. He got work last year. He's getting less work right now, less opportunities. That's going to change. His snap share is going to go up. I imagine his snap share is probably going to be around like 25%, and he's going to get work in the passing game. He had some big plays last year. He's a pickup, actually. He's a speculative, just to see like what happens with this team. Like, if they start allowing him to get some more work, and Trey Benson's probably going to be the guy, and Emari Demercado is probably going to get some sneaky workload. I would not be surprised if we're a few weeks in and a lot of you guys blew your fab on Trey Benson and you just wished you got Emari Demercado cheaper. Even though Benson's getting more of the touches, it just split up enough to where Emari Demercado is like, oh, he's a good gamble. I would not be surprised. I'm not calling that out. There was just some indicators last year that they could use him. They like him. He's very explosive. He can catch the ball in the backfield. Like, if you're looking for a sneaky, cheap pickup that's free, here you go. Emari Demercado is a sneaky pickup. And I call those out, and this is from my gut. Like, he could be a sneaky guy in random games. And it will be a random play. You're not going to know when to start him. But he could also snowball some value for you. It's really depending on your format, how you play the game, your league, and everything else. Strategy, right? Strategy. This is another strategy play for you. Zamir White. What I see here is a running back that's getting touches. I'm biased because, like, he just didn't hit last year. It was his moment. Ashton Genty's getting a lot of work. Ashton Genty's a running back. Running backs that get a lot of work. They take a lot more impact than what you want. So Zamir White as a handcuff. He's got good size, adjusted athleticism. 14-plus teams, yes. Basic, traditional 12-teamers, no. I just don't feel like he's going to hit to that upside because he's proved that he hasn't. His grades are horrible, 46.2 per PFF on the season. He's just not hitting to that. Yards after contact per attempt ain't there. He's just not hitting to his athletic specs. Brashard Smith, we're always monitoring him. We're always watching. 3 routes last week. 1 target. Now, everybody's looking for the next Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon got more routes and more opportunities that big year in 2022. He's a veteran. He's a late-round rookie. Pay attention to Brashard Smith throughout the year. One thing to notice here is those running backs ain't hitting the spec anyways. They may have to switch things in and out anyways later on down the road. So you're going to have to watch the snaps and the routes throughout the season. Right now, you don't have to jump on it unless you absolutely want to as that stash play. Braelon Allen is a stash option just in case Brees goes down. I think the case here, though, is the Jets have been so ambiguous week to week, game to game. You do not know what you're going to get, that he's going to be hard to throw in the lineups anyways. Even if he was the starter, he's like a hope and prayer. Like, you ask, hey, can I start Braelon Allen? It's like, dude, the science here for the Jets here is like, I don't even know what they're going to do this game. Like, they came out against Pittsburgh, rolling with Brees Hall. Last 2 games, no. You got Miami coming up. You got Dallas coming up. You got some opportunities. But he's also shown throughout the last year or so he can play. He's a running back that if you're looking for a speculation play, probably better for 14-teamers right now. It's really hard to find that space in 12-teamers right now. But a guy that you could look at, Brian Robinson. If I have Christian McCaffrey, yes. More than likely, I'm just stashing just in case McCaffrey goes down. More than likely, he would be the next guy up. 9% snap share last week, 2 carries. There's also other running backs like Isaac Rondo in there, so that could eat into that. That's a gamble, but he's also just a stash and hoard play. Doesn't work out. Super cheap. May not even be on the waiver wire, but Kenneth Gainwell. Arthur Smith is going to Arthur Smith, and you have to strategize around that. You're looking at Jaylen Warren, and he's the guy there, but they don't really have a guy. It's just Arthur Smith doing what he wants in those moments. We're waiting for Caleb Johnson, but Arthur Smith is who we're watching from afar. They brought up Trey Sermon last week. I think Kenneth Gainwell will have his moments. He's going to be hard to start. I like him more for 14-plus man leagues. I don't like him for 12-man leagues. He's more of a speculation play to cross that goal line. It's just random workload. That's very hard to project out of him. Miles Sanders, he's a very weird running back to forecast. He can hit that splash play. So I look at him as a moondoggy play that you can just throw into lineups if you're hurting that bad. I do not look at him as a stash option unless you're looking at Javonte Williams and you're like, he's getting a lot of work, he's getting a lot of touches. Maybe I want to handcuff running back to him. And rightfully so. That's interesting considering the Cowboys are just going to be in weird game scripts. They're going to have to change up their flow with CeeDee Lamb. You got Carolina week 6 on the road. You got some weird game scripts coming up. They're just going to be in weird games. We're waiting for Jaydon Blue to come up. Now, this is the ultimate stash, especially the deeper you go in your formats. 4.3 speed, can catch the ball in the backfield. Speculative deep play. But Jaydon Blue, you're monitoring him throughout the season. We have not recorded a snap yet. We haven't been on the field. But still, with the way the season's going, especially even for the Cowboys, like it's hard to imagine him not being on the field due to attrition and weirdness. Tyler Allgeier. If I have Bijan Robinson, I want Tyler Allgeier. Somebody asked, I think, whether or not he's startable. He's not startable, but he's like a random gamble. He's going to have 2 more games with Bijan Robinson where he gets you 10-plus PPR fantasy points. You're not going to know the day or the hour of that. So that being said, he's not startable unless you really want to get into that gamble. But he's a great handcuff for Bijan because if Bijan goes down, he's going to get all the work, all the touches. Michael Penix has been rough the last 2 weeks, so hopefully that circles back to being better. But we do not know. That could impact him. But he's a former 1,000-yard rusher. There's not many former 1,000-yard rushers who is still getting workload behind a stud running back that you could see grinding out work when given the touches. Calm money guy. One of my favorite plays. Like, he's out there in a lot of 12-man leagues where you can get him. He's a dart throw running back. Anything could happen here with the Bears. They beat the Cowboys. The thing about this, you see him grinding it well between the tackles. Roschon Johnson's not getting a lot of work. He's holding him at bay. That's a very good sign here. DeAndre Swift's going to DeAndre Swift. But again, you're stashing for the season. Ray Davis. Not much work against the Dolphins. Got missed on that target. That was actually a very funny play. Go check that out. That was a very funny miss. Hands flopping in the air. Yeah, I'm seeing that replay in my head. I'm laughing at it. Hold on a sec. But Ray Davis, though, last year, when given the opportunity, that game against the Jets, good top-end RB2 production. He's good between the tackles. He's solid. He's a running back to stash. Another one is Ty Johnson. He's actually running a fair amount of routes here. Last week, just 8, but 18 and 12. He gets work in the passing game. So if Cook goes down, it's going to be a battle between Ray Davis and Ty Johnson again. Ray Davis is going to be the guy that you're going to want, but you're going to have to pay for off the fab. Ty Johnson will be the cheaper one, less likely to hit, but a running back to Moneyball with. So if I'm in like 14, 16, 18 teamer, I'm looking for a stash. I know this team is going to be in good game scripts. I know that the ball is going to flow. He's a Moneyball play that you gamble with. A.J. Dillon appears to be next man up. It's probably going to be a committee because they're built for that if Saquon goes down. But good size adjusted athleticism. Been around the league. You can throw him in there if you want to stash, if you want to handcuff behind Saquon. I'm just personally not going to chase it. Roschon Johnson, I'm not interested unless it's a deeper league. I think Kyle Money Guy is going to make this very murky, muddy, and ugly for him. Good size adjusted athleticism, good speed to that size, almost 230 pounds. Has a receiving profile that could lend well for fantasy, especially during his rookie season. We saw some of that. I just don't see the workload amounting up. But 14 plus, those are the running backs we're looking at going into week 4. Who's your pickup? I want to know about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.